Hello, my name's Natalia and this is Official Mermaids Cove, where I share my cross-stitching hobby. Welcome and thank you for coming and joining me today. This is going to be my first weekly update for April in 2024. I'm going to cover what I've been working on this past week and my plans moving forward. Don't really have any purchases this week, so I'll be skipping that part for this video. So I'll start with the kit that I'm working on. Oh, here it is. So Blushing Pink Stitches on Flosstube is working on dimension kits. She's doing an All the Kits April sale. You can follow the hashtag AllTheKitsApril on Instagram. I know Instagram's been doing like this weird thing with the hashtags. Some people might be using it on Flosstube too. So this is the one that I've been working on. It's my Midnight Snowman Gold Collection Petite by Dimensions. This is stitched on 18 count Navy Aida. I've been taking this to work and working on it. I've heard that the Petites can sometimes be harder to work on than some of the full-size charts, but so far I've been making some progress. I have some needles still in here. But if we look at the cover photo, a little bit of a glare there. I've done a good portion of the snow. I've added some sparkle already, and then I've started on the half stitches in the background all the way around, and then I'm going to try doing some color completion just so I can try to complete each of the symbols as I go. That's typically how I like to work my patterns. And I used to be more of a kit stitcher until I discovered, PDF charts. The specialty floss that the kit started asking me to do for one of the symbols was 4 strands of blending filament and 1 strand of white. That's a lot of different threads, and that blending filament or acrylic thread can be kind of hard to work with. So what I like to do is I corded everything onto my needle. I can maybe try to do like a short video on how I do that the next time I do it, and I'll post it on here for you guys to see. I probably should post it on Instagram too. I mentioned it on Instagram, but I just didn't show an example of how I do that. I've done the same thing for when I wanted to add some sparkle to some mermaids in the tail before. It's just, I'd find it easier to work with if it's like thinner metallic thread. Typically if it's like a number 8 braid from Crank, I don't have a problem working with it. Oddly enough, I've worked with different kinds of specialty braid. I've tried the DMC floss, specialty floss. I've tried the DMC Light Effects is what it's called. There's also been the Crank, and then I've also tried Petite Treasure braid and Silk Lame braid. I think the thing I like to work with the most is the Silk Lame braid. And then next to that, surprisingly enough, would be the Krennic, but I like using Krennic number 8 braid. I actually don't prefer to use number 4, because if you have number 8 braid, you can stitch just with one, it comes off, as it comes off the spool, just that one strand. You can make a full X if you're doing 14 count, or on 28 count, 2/2 threads of the even weave. I prefer doing that versus doing the number 8 Krennic braid or Petite Treasure braid and having to double up to get the coverage that you want. But so far this is where I'm at. I'm working on it on my lunch breaks, and you really can, I don't know if I'm capturing the sparkle there on camera, but it really is adding a nice effect to the snow there. But yeah, I'm hoping to work my way. I'm trying to, moving forward, I'll try to complete that back stitch back here, the half stitching that it has back here. It's in, I think I already finished with the light blue, and then this is like a blended blue, all the way around to frame where the stitched area is, and then I'll start working more on the whites of the snowman, and hopefully getting to the stitches on all the little creatures down here before I start on some of the back stitching. I really don't like working on back stitching, and I know a lot of people don't recommend leaving it to the end, but somehow, typically, that's what ends up happening with me. I usually end up leaving it all until the end and then getting a start on that. But that's where I am with that. The next one, I spent a lot of time working, well, a couple days, surprisingly enough. Because this one is one of my Gecko Rouge charts. This is Dracarys. Artwork is by Dalen Ogden, and this is being worked on 28 count gridded even weave. I'm stitching this 2/1 tent stitch. And this is where it's at now. I was working on finishing off the background area here behind Daenerys, and I did. I finished my goal for the month for this. I'm trying to get like 1% every month, which is around, I don't know, I put the goal at 3,000 stitches. The actual stitch count for this is like over 224,000 stitches, but 3,000 stitches will get me a little over 1%, and I already met that. Well, completing this, I went a little bit over. So I'm done with it for the month, so I'm probably going to put this away so I can get some progress on some of my other whips. But I'm looking forward to, if I do catch up with everything before the end of the month, I'm going to probably go back and start working more on these flame motifs here. And then work on the dragon. Eventually get to Daenerys, and then move down to work on another dragon. You can kind of see the horns of the head over here. But yeah, I'm glad the progress I was able to make. It's pretty good coverage doing the 10th stitch 2/1 on the 28 count. You can't really see any, I mean, under really bright lights, I guess you can see maybe some of the ground cloth. But it's really good coverage, especially when I don't have, you know, daylight lights while I'm working on it. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I'm hoping to get more progress on it. After I finish my Yin Yang dragons, I'll make this a focus piece. And then this is the last one that I've been working on. I don't have the chart with me, so I'll insert a picture. But this is my Mirabilia. This is Nightingale. And I've been stitching it on this table linen that I dyed. I powder dyed, well, I ice dyed it with black and red Rit powder dyes. And I counted the thread count when it was stretched like this, and it's around 28, 29 count. I really like how the blues are popping off on this fabric. It is really sheer, like you can see my fingers back there. But it's actually been stitching up really good as long as I have like nice tension on it. I finished this layer of the skirt, and I'm working on finishing this layer. This little, I don't know, this is a separate, I guess it would be a little separate layer of the skirt is basically done. A lot of these empty spaces are beads. And there's going to be some empty spaces here for beads, like the center of these motifs. I think all this is beads right here. And there will be beads in the center of these larger motifs. But I'm slowly working on stitching these. I have a monthly goal of at minimum 6,000 stitches on this. This is one of my focus pieces. It does have a deadline, so I'm trying to get a lot of work done on that. I'm not sure if, because I have a set number of days, I think I'm trying to get at least maybe 500. I think it's 450. 450 stitches a day. So if I work on it for 11, 12 days, 13 days, I can get those 6,000 stitches in. I don't know. I go back and forth on how I try to tackle the goals that I set for myself, whether I try to give it a set number of stitches a day and then calculate how many days a month I need to work on it or not. This one I've actually been getting pretty good progress on, so I might actually try to blow past that 6,000 stitch goal for this month and maybe get some more work on her. But I want to try to get this layer done, then I guess maybe start on this side and then move it down so I can start working on the bustle. I'm not sure what you call it. There's like another under skirt, or maybe the opening where it like opens up down here. That's a lot of whites and creams, not as many different motifs in there, and there's beads and stuff, and where the bugle beads will be attached to the bottom here. But there is quite a bit of like this light blue block stitching, so this section I'm hoping goes a little bit faster than this. This section has a lot of different color changes in it. I really like how these blue roses are. I enjoyed stitching those. But yeah, I'm enjoying stitching on this. I'm enjoying the progress that I'm getting, and I hope to get some more progress on her soon. Well, I'm not sure that I'm going to finish my goal for that this week coming up. If I do, I'll switch over to working on this for my home project. I'll of course still be working on my Midnight Snowman to take to work. But yeah, this is a project I've been working for my anniversary piece. Also stitched on 28 count even weave. This is where it is. This is where I left it off last month. So if I switched over to working on that, I'll be working more on, I think I have a goal, like this is the halfway mark, to work the top half up and then work my way down. But that's, I'll switch over to that if I make the progress I want on my Nightingale. The last thing that I've been working on is my Autumn Lane stitchery piece. I'll also insert a picture for this one. I have a PDF pattern, so I don't have a photo to show. This is my, it's called The Beauty and the Beast. It's a chart by Autumn Lane Stitchery. And this is where I am at with her. I went ahead and finished stitching up to here. The sea dragon, I got a complete loop around my mermaid. And then I went ahead and just did like a color completion section to get a good guide for where the dragon's going to come curving back around here. And it's going to have the tail finishing over here and looping back up. This is the mermaid's tail. I got all of the body of her tail stitched, and then I started on the tip of her, one of her fins here. This is also like some of the smaller side fins she has. I started on part of it here to get like a good count to get this color complete here. At least on this section, I think there's some of this color too up top here. But I have this finished. I've also finished my goal. I think I had a goal of 1,500 stitches for this chart. That's like 10% of the pattern, a little over 10% of the pattern. So I'm going to be putting this away until I get some more progress on some of the other things I want to work on. I definitely want to hit that goal for Nightingale, and then I'll move over to getting some progress on my Yin Yang dragons. But I really enjoyed stitching this one, so I might pull it out. I really like, this is this is stitched on 18 count Ada. My sister helped me dye this with some liquid Rit dyes. It's really colorful in the background. And I didn't know how this would look because without the darkest color here, when I was stitching it up, it looked like it might fade into the background, but after adding that, it was really popping off of this fabric, and I really like how it's working up. Erin, I should have learned by now just to, you know, and I trust the progress, but you know, it's just one of those things where you're just not sure as you're stitching it up. But Aaron, he's the designer for Autumn Lane Stitchery, and his wife Cassandra helps him out with, like, you know, giving ideas for patterns and giving him suggestions and how to make it more like stitchable. But it's always really enjoyable stitching these charts up, and I'm hoping to stitch all of their mermaids eventually. So there's that. For the week coming up, I'm going to, like I said, planning on focusing on getting more progress on my Nightingale and working more on my Midnight Snowman. And I might be able to show you some progress on Ying Yang dragons when I do my next video. No purchases, like I said. I've been watching a lot of different people. I went back and started at the first video for the Runner Stitcher, and I've watched all of his videos. He's done a lot of really cool projects. I really was intrigued by some of the sweatshirts that he had stitched on for his mom. I might have to dig up. I don't think I would be interested in stitching up Disney characters, but I might be interested in doing, like, you know, Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. I really like, I'm sure I have like a bunch of merchandise and stuff with Stitch on it. And I say that I'm wearing like Stitch pajama pants right now. If I stand up, can you see? So I have a lot of like Stitched themed pajamas, and like I think I have a hoodie somewhere. So it'd be interesting to try doing that on a sweatshirt. I know there's still, my older sister had gifted me one of those printed counted cross stitch kits, and it was stained glass artwork of Stitch. So I still need to, I was going to turn that into a tote using Tiger Lily. Go check out Tiger Lily's design I think it's called Tiger Lily Designs. I'll link her in the description below. But I really love watching her videos. She does a lot of good tutorials on doing different things, and she also gives good, like, she on her Etsy store, she has different things for sale, including like patterns and things for project bags and project keepers and stuff. She has a lot of good content. She has a lot of stuff she gives out for free. She's very generous, and then she also has additional stuff that you can buy for a pretty good price. And I know she's has other things in the works now too, so go ahead and go to her channel and check those things out. But I think that's it. This is a pretty short video. I've been trying to chunk a lot more progress into my projects here lately, so I don't have as many projects to show you. I'm thinking about doing some more chart parades. I have a lot of lavender lace charts, and I already have some fabric that I've paired with them. There's a lot of angels, and there's one that I really want to do. It reminds me of my grandmother, so I might do a chart parade for those. I might just throw in the rest of the Mirabilia charts, because I don't know that I could do a video for that on its own, just because most of the Mirabilia charts that I have are the mermaids. But I do have some of her other charts. I have a few of her fairies and that I can show. So I might just lump that into a second chart parade. And then, I don't know, I might eventually do like a fabric stash dive, because I have a bunch of fabric. I have so much fabric. But it might be interesting for you to see some of the fabrics that I've dyed with my sister and my friends before, just to see some of the results that I've gotten with the method that I do. I don't know that I would really need a video to show it, because it's really simple and I can walk you through it. But I could probably link below some of the Flosstubers that I've seen it. A lot of the dyeing that I do is jar dyeing, and it's got me some pretty interesting effects. This was one of the only pieces of fabric that I've ever ice dyed before, and I really like the results here. But yeah, thank you for all. I've gotten quite a few new subscribers. Thank you for everyone who's subscribed and following the channel. It's really exciting to have more people commenting and engaging with me in the comments. If you have any questions for me, pop it down below. I've received a lot of shoutouts here lately. Sylvan Stitches, they recently released a... Is it Sylvan Stitches? I'll put them in the description below, but they recently had a new video. I would go check out their channel as well. They gave me a shout out. Oh, she mentioned, so I had mentioned before that my family's from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is, I guess, it's considered a territory of the United States, but we're not a state, so it's like American Samoa, you know, the same status as that. It is part of the U.S., so if you ever want to visit to a tropical place, and maybe you don't want to spend the money to go visit Hawaii, because it can be very expensive, I would recommend going to Puerto Rico. You can go there, you don't need a passport, and, you know, people speak English there. The main language is Spanish, but they speak both Spanish and English there, and it's a really good vacation spot. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've gotten any questions specifically about any of the things that I've been working on here lately. But yeah, the fabrics that I've dyed, I've gotten a lot of comments there on my Instagram account about that. So I'll think about maybe doing a video and going through some of the things that I've tried, the different dyes that I've used, and then just kind of verbally walking you through my process of how I do it. This was a one-time thing, and I still have a bunch of this left. So maybe, I mean, I'm only up to 60. I'm not even sure if I'm at 60 subscribers yet, but maybe if I hit 100, or one of the hundreds, I still have quite a big piece of this fabric left. So I might give away a piece if you're interested. Like I said, this really isn't hard to stitch on. It's really sheer, so when you first start going on it, you have to be cautious about your tension, and I would recommend having good tension on when you're working on it, but it does work up pretty nicely. I haven't tried lacing it. I will, obviously, when I finish this piece, so I can give you more feedback on that. But a lot of people have been commenting on like how they like the color and everything. So if you wanted to, I'd be more than happy to cut a piece of, because it's, like I said, it was a table linen, so it's quite a big piece of linen. I'd be willing to cut a piece and give that away as a giveaway when I start, you know, to hit a mile marker for my subscriber count on the channel. So let me know what you think of that. If there's not really people that are interested in that, I could try to come up with something else. Like I said, I made a bunch of those decorative counting pins, scissor fobs, zipper pulls, etc. If that would be something more that you'd be interested in receiving. I still have quite a bit of supplies from that, and if I needed to get a couple more supplies, you know, who doesn't need another excuse to buy more crafting supplies? But yes, hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for taking the time to watch. I share my daily progress on my Instagram account, so feel free to go over there and check that out. Feel free to let me know what you're stitching on. If you're participating in all the kits April, what dimension kits are you working on? I've had like maybe 5 dimensions kits in my stash, but I haven't really finished one as of yet. I've finished a couple design works, so let me know what your experience is working on those, and some of the kits that you found that you really liked. But yeah, until the next time, see you later. Happy stitching. Bye.